Okay guys, I just want to talk about Magpul. When should you buy it? When should you not? Okay? So Magpul is probably 3 times as expensive as anything you'll find that's non-Magpul, at least the equivalent when it comes to sling mounts and things. Their magazines are more reasonable, but their furniture too. So I think there's a time for it, and there's a time not to use it. So right now I'm getting rid of all my QD stuff. I just don't trust it. So I'm replacing with HK clips. Okay, so I got a bag of these on Amazon. Try Wonder selling them. $1 a piece. These things are very rugged, at least from the reports. There are cheaper ones that fall apart, but these are really good. At least the reports are. It's a chunk of steel, right? So there's not much to fail on this thing other than the latch. The latch is steel too, but the pressure is not on the latch. It's on the hook part, which is part of the body. So I got these for $1 a piece. I got a 10-pack. Okay, if you get 1.25 inch, fits good with your STI sling. I love these slings. I bought like 4 or 5 of them already. Okay, very soft, slick. It's got the fast loop. Okay, if you buy a Magpul parasling thing, you're gonna pay way more than 20 bucks, probably 3 times that. Like I said, these clips were $1. The Magpul paraclip, the thing you buy, those are like 30 bucks. I did get the Magpul sling attachment point because the reviews on the Chinese ones said they had soft nuts, they would break. So cheaper doesn't always mean better, and it doesn't always mean worse. You just kind of have to feel your way through it. But this sling with my $1 HK clip is a really sweet setup, and there's no reason to buy the Magpul there. I do have the Magpul grip because I wanted something cheaper and something, of course, that takes M-lock, right? Solid attachment in the rear, right to the rifle. And this I trust more than a QD. Again, there's bad QD and there's good QD, and it's just hard to tell the difference. And if I'm going to sling this on my back, especially traveling by motorcycle, I don't want it bouncing down the freeway, falling off. Okay, either by accident or because it failed. So, when it comes to PMags, okay, I know these, I guess call it Gen 2s. I just dyed this one. Take a lot of crap. I mean, if you drop them on the feed lips, yeah, it might crack. But it's still all polymer. So for day-to-day training, if you don't want to be banging metal into metal, scratching up your new rifle, use all plastic. I love it. I've never had one break. I use a lot of Tapco mags too. So my new rifle here, you know, I don't want it getting scratched up. I mean, it will eventually anyway. But I do have steel mags, so if there's a situation where you need to use it or run around the woods with it, whatever that looks like, you know, I got steels. But otherwise, I want to use these all plastic mags, right? As far as the stock of the AK, I have had a Zukov before. I've seen them break. If you look on the Mac channel, you'll see him do a very light mortaring, and the thing just snaps. Okay, because it's plastic. Wood is probably the best in cold weather. Now, I live in Michigan. I live in a cold weather state. If you're using a rifle as a range toy, and there's nothing wrong with that, put whatever you want on there. But this is going to be my go-to rifle if I need to run around with it. So I am not using that. I ordered a Manticore Orms, which is a solid aluminum folder, if I want the folding option. But otherwise, stick with wood, man. Yeah, it'll scratch and dent. You could even crack it if you whack it hard enough, but it's not going to shatter in the cold. So just something to think about. So again, look at all your options, and sometimes it makes sense to pay 30 bucks or more for a Magpul, if it truly is better. But if there's cheaper alternatives that work just as good or better, go with that. So that's one man's opinion. Alright, last thing I wanted to show was the HK clip on the AK. So they work really well because most AKs have just a small steel loop here. Works on this end too. Okay, so look how quick that is. Okay, so it's not duty quick, but it's quick enough whereas you're cleaning the rifle or whatever you need to take it off for, no big deal. So you may think you're stuck with something like this. Okay, this is a Chinese canvas. It's rough, it's thick, it sucks. Don't do that. Get yourself a nice STI sling, a couple of $1 HK clips, and you're in business. If you're worried about the rubbing or the sound, just make a paracord loop. Okay, just make a little loop here, bam. No noise. So not very noisy anyway. You know, maybe a little bit more down there. But you could loop this around the stock itself if you wanted to. A lot of people do that. But there you go. A lot more secure than QD. Cheap, effective. Works on AKs. Works on my SIG. Works on just about anything. So there it is.